Okay, thank you for watching here on TikTok Live at Blooming Light. Happy Saturday, wherever you all are in the universe. I just wanted to come in and talk about grateful but, okay? Grateful but, no worries. This is not dismissing the need for gratitude, but we're going to talk about, for those of us that are survivors of narcissistic abuse or toxic relationship dynamics, we're going to talk about this thing that some of them, the antagonist, the narc, or the toxic person, get caught up in their delusion. Hey, right? And they will do, especially communal narcs. This really, all narcs, but especially communal narcs, because communal narcs are the ones that chances are in your path, they assisted you in some kind of way, even though it was tainted, okay? Even though for some of you, they sabotaged you so they could assist you, so that you would have to, you see what I'm saying? But some of the things that they end up using, they end up spreading out to the community, to the friendship group, family circle, wherever. One of the things that they do is they'll say something like, what really upset me or what really hurt me is that they being you, they're not grateful for all the ways in which I supported them, when I gave them this, I did that, I woo. So, but the truth as it pertains to the collective, that's actually not the truth. Okay. In your journey and situations with people, you expressed thanks and gratitude and tried many ways and methods of showing people that you were grateful, okay? But where they get this mixed up, where toxic antagonistic types really get this twisted up, someone being grateful or showing gratitude or thanks has absolutely nothing to do with anything separate from that. Okay. So for an example, they could have very well given you this or that, or helped out with this or that. Okay. But it does not negate or nullify any other behaviors. So yeah, they gave you this, but that doesn't change if they were toxic in another situation. And so what will happen is they'll use these situations when it's coming up, when you're standing up for yourself, when you're speaking your truth, when you're putting up a boundary, when you're, expressing your opinion. In those moments, they'll say, well, how ungrateful. But what does that have to do with the issue at hand? Okay. Case in point, I'm just going to use me to make it plain. Let's say I knew someone, a friend, a sibling, anybody, okay? And let's say I gave them $2,000 because they were in a tight, they were going through a hard way to go. They didn't have, they needed help with the woo. And I just so happened to have it, okay? And I gave them $2,000. Now, okay, if I turn around and let's say they say thank you, let's say, they even try like, thank you so much, I appreciate it, you're a lifesaver. And let's say they even like, okay, let me, wash your dishes, some bitch, as well. Or like, let's say the person tried to just like make sure their words and actions kind of matched their gratitude. Okay. And that happens like, cool, boom. Okay. And let's say time, a day or two, a week, 2 weeks, whatever, a month. And some non-related things go down. Okay. Totally non-related. And let's say, let's say that, let me see how I want to put this. Okay. Let's say I was in the wrong, like a month later, I said something rude to them, or I crossed a boundary, or I stole something, or I lied on them, or whatever. Let's say that happens a month ago. I'm just giving an example, right? And then let's say the person comes to me. Let's say they get wind of it, right? Or they recall it. And then they come to me respectfully and they say, hey, that wasn't okay. I'm not sure what you meant, just wanted to, da, da, da. If I, in turn, get huffy and puffy and start deflecting and saying, well, I don't know what you're talking about, and that's just you. And you know what? How ungrateful. I have done some. See that? It went right back to something that they did, right? Antagonistic types, narc types, do not understand. Okay? Something I figured out. They don't know how to separate, okay, things properly. And so it's also a part of gaslighting you. It's also a part of making you feel, and others, because what they're going to spin to everyone who listen, what they're going to spin is how much they have done for you. And they cannot believe, bitch, okay, that you are treating them that way. Especially if, in that situation that example I gave, if they get all riled up and stupid and assaulting, and then the person say very well, then they pull back. Like, okay, I'm not going to deal with you. Okay, because you can't, no, I'm not going to deal with you. Thank you, grateful, but. Thank you, grateful, but. Okay, you're not buying my silence. This is not an all-encompassing, if I'm doing this for you, you're buying my silence. No matter what, you're going to look at me like a god or goddess. You're going to see no wrong in me, and you're going to not challenge anything at all, and you're going to put up with everything because this is all encompassing. I gave you this, and because I did this and I gave you this, then you don't get to challenge if my behavior becomes, unbalanced, disrespectful, all in the name of I gave you this. That is how narcs or toxic types view generosity. That's why their generosity is not real. That is why it is called communal narcissism. Because that's a ticket to be able to abuse you. That's supposed to be the hush money or hush resource, right? And if you come at them and challenge that, then you're going to be attacked, and then they're going to spin, since they're very manipulative and selective, and they have a lot of praise and worshipers, okay, and people that are afraid of them and one thing and another, they're going to spin that to the Americas, that they don't understand what's going on. They were so helpful. They bent over backwards. They did whatever they could. See how is it mixed with truth? They did whatever they could. They gave you this and that, and all of a sudden you was tripping and for no reason, and then you just left. That is the way it goes with toxic personality types. And I'm sure the survivors, you wrestled because, again, you could have been the type that wanted people to know you were grateful. Chances are you put up with a lot of things in your life for this very reason, okay? Because of all of the gaslighting that had been done, because how dare you after all I've done, right? But some of the all they have done was actually trapping anyway. Some of that stuff was sabotagery in order to be able to do it, in order to have you indebted and trapped. So it's like, again, that just dismissed its so-called humanitarianism or philanthropy or generosity. Doing something, grateful, but doing something for people doesn't give any of us a right to be dehumanizing, okay, to be condescending, to, essentially try to infantile people. Don't give people shit if you gonna try to infantile them because of it. If you have something tied to that, keep your shit and keep your papers, your resources, your opportunities, your dollars, keep the shit in your pocket. That a normal person, a healthy person understands if you're gonna have some tie on that shit, then you don't do it. Don't do it. Especially if the terms and conditions and stuff aren't clear, whatever the case may be, whether it's business or personal. It's like, okay. But at the bottom line, agreements or generosity or kindness or helping someone out, whatever it is, it doesn't give any of us a right. It's not all encompassing. It's not going to negate our ongoing behavior. If I hooked you up with a bomb, opportunity, and then turned around and backstabbed you just because I hooked you up with a bomb opportunity, it does not negate the fact that I ended up turning around and backstabbing you. Antagonistic types, again, they're very fragile egos. So any kind of strength that you have is insulting to them. They need you to be weak, feeble, groveling. You know what I'm saying? And that's not healthy. Healthy people that are so-called supposed to be trying to help the community and help disadvantage and all this bullshit these people be trying to perpetuate themselves to be. Well, healthy people, okay, understand that their kindness is not going to negate the need for them to have appropriate behavior henceforth. Or that these people still have a right to autonomy, or they still have a right to their individuality. They still have a right to their opinions and thoughts and views, and they have a right to express those opinions, thoughts, and views. And they still, you know what I'm saying? You're not purchasing silence. If you need somebody to idolize you, and you're using your resources and your money to do that, you need to question yourself. The collective is not ungrateful. The collective is definitely grateful, but the but is that now that the collective have discovered what a lot of people's so-called helpfulness was, now that the collective understand, a lot of people were simply, trying to entrap them and minimize them and all that stuff. Now that the collective understands that it is good, we should be grateful and we should express it and our words should match. Okay, but it still doesn't give people a right. It does not negate that they should be equally respected. They're not less than that person who handed them $2,000. They shouldn't be treated any differently. And see, again, communal narcs and toxic types have superiority grandiose complex. I'm bigger than you and I'm above you because I have more than you and I'm giving you something. And that couldn't be no more further from the truth in most cases. Grateful but.